Hi everyone, you can call me Anita, alright? That's my nickname at home. Well, I come from a Spanish-speaking family here in the Philippines, and I speak Spanish to my children and to my grandchildren, alright? So, when I was young, I was about 19 years old, I had to go to Spain to look after my ailing grandmother, mi abuela. She was bedridden. I had to quit school and take care of her. Alright, so I was in around, I think, second year college in one of the exclusive schools here in Manila. So I had to leave school, go to Spain and take care of my mother, a grandmother. And I was bored at home, so what I did, I went to school, and I also landed on a job, my first job. It was an American company based in Islas Baleares, no? Okay, that's it's in the Catalonia region. Okay, Barcelona, Palma de Mallorca, Ibiza, Menorca, ¿no? Estas son las tres islas Baleares, okay? So, alright, so I stayed there for a long time. You know what happened? When I went there, since we spoke Spanish here in the Philippines, my father, my grandparents, my cousins, my uncles, and all that. So when I went to Spain, I was confident I spoke Spanish, and you know, I can speak Spanish. I mean, even though I'm Filipino, I'm Asian, but I can speak Spanish, okay? So one thing I've noticed is that they just didn't understand me, okay? I spoke in Spanish. I believed it was Spanish I was speaking to them, but it wasn't. They just couldn't understand me. So what happened is that, they said I spoke Spanish, but the Antiguo Spanish, okay? Because Spain ruled the Philippines for about 500 years, okay? Well, like my family, we have adopted the Spanish language up to the present time. So we spoke Spanish. We thought it was Spanish. When I went to Spain, it wasn't Spanish at all, okay? It wasn't Spanish at all. So what I did, since they couldn't understand me, well, they understood me, but they said some words that I spoke were Antiguo Español, okay? So what I did, since I was 19 years old, I had a Spanish boyfriend who never spoke English. He just spoke French and Spanish. So I learned the Castilian Spanish with him, all right? Since he didn't speak English, I had to speak to him in Spanish, right? All right, so we were together for about 2 years, and then we broke off because he had to go somewhere else, somewhere in Venezuela, because his father was staying there, was residing there at that time, and the mother was staying in Spain. So I didn't ask what was the problem, why they were separated, why the father was in Venezuela and the mother was in Barcelona. So, but it's evident, it's obvious that they were separated, okay? So he left Spain. I was left alone. I was very lonely, so I found another boyfriend. I traveled a lot all around Europe, okay? And for you to survive, I mean, during my time, okay, Filipinos, you can rarely see Filipinos in Europe, okay? You can see Filipinos there whether they're studying or playing sports, you know, like the rich people, all right? Well, okay, so I was there. I met some of the rich families here in the Philippines, like the Sobels, Levistes, y todo eso, no? Well then, you wouldn't find any domestic helper, Filipino domestic helper or driver around in Spain, working in Spain. Just Filipino students or sports man or whatever. They like to play polo, and that's it. I mean, the rich people, rich Filipino people. All right. So I stayed there for a couple of years. I studied and I worked, and I found a husband who was Filipino, so we had to return to Spain, to the Philippines to do some business. All right. So when I came back, this was about 1990. Let me check my notes here. That was about 1997 when we came back to the Philippines, or 1995 when we came back to the Philippines. And I've got Spanish friends here, or Spanish classmates, Spanish-speaking classmates. So once I came back, I called them up. I said, hey, I'm here. I just came from Spain and I don't know what to do, whether to do business or whatever, to teach or what, I don't know. Anyway, I was at a loss. Okay, I didn't know what to do actually. So one of my Spanish schoolmates said, hey, since you speak Spanish, why don't you join me? I said, join you where? And she said, well, what you're gonna do is just taking Spanish calls. I said, well, I'm 40 years old, what can I do? I mean, will I still have a job at 40? I said, yeah, sure. You just have to receive calls in Spanish. And since you speak Spanish, well, you're gonna earn a lot of money. I mean, more than an average call center agent. I said, well, okay, let's try. So she set up an interview for me. I passed, of course. And then we started training. That was my first call center experience. I enjoyed it, but the problem was I had to work graveyards. I realized that for the call centers here work graveyards at night. Jesus Christ. That was a major adjustment for me. So I got the job. I worked there for about a year or two, I guess. And well, it goes on. Okay, so I was call center hopping. I was still young in the industry, so once I get an offer higher than what I was receiving, I would just go there to the next call center. Okay, so that's history. Okay, so during my time, during the early years of 2000, okay, the Spanish speakers were Spanish speakers de verdad in España and Filipinas. We were the Spanish speaking group in the call center. Okay, children of Spanish speaking families. Okay, there were no Chavacanos, there were no students yet of Spanish students. So we were like kings and queens of the call centers. Okay, they would just offer salaries. Oh my God, you wouldn't imagine. Okay, they would just steal or rob the Spanish agents from one call center to the other. Okay, and offer them higher salary. So we were offered salaries. Whoa, you know, just name the price and I'm gonna give it to you. Okay, so well, when the Chavacanos came, call center, well, I just think, or I believe that these call centers realized that they were paying us a lot. Okay, so they started hiring Chavacanos and students who hardly spoke Spanish. Okay, so but I admire these people, you know, because I just admire these people. You know why? Because for 2-3 weeks on the phone, they could speak Spanish. I mean, not really Spanish, but you know, we have this call flow, and you know, they would just speak Spanish to the. I mean, they have a call flow, right? So they have something to follow with. And so these call centers, that you just realized that they prefer hiring Chavacanos and Spanish students instead of hiring us, the native Spanish speakers of the Philippines, okay? And the disadvantage of that concept by the call centers hiring Chavacanos and Spanish students at a lower salary, they were offering us Spanish speakers of the Philippines. We just couldn't bargain our salaries anymore, you know, not like before when we say 60,000, 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. They would just jump on you and grab you, give you a contract, you know. But when these people came in, the Chavacanos and the Spanish students, okay, it was impossible for us to name our prices, you know. They would just say, oh, we can just pay 40,000, 50,000 a month, you know, and that's the average. I mean, you just couldn't bargain anymore. You just couldn't ask for more, you know, because they said that's the standard set by the company, okay, or that's the price or the salary range given by the company for Spanish speakers, okay. And because us Spanish speakers, we were given language premium as well, aside from basic salary, okay. So what happened is that when they started hiring Chavacanos and Spanish students, they blended the Spanish and they gave a very low basic salary and a very low Spanish premium. So us Spanish speakers, you know, native Spanish speakers of the Philippines, we just couldn't compete. We had to abide, or if we needed a job, then we have to accept that salary given to the Chavacanos and Spanish students. Okay, so that lowered our prices. Before, we were treated like kings and queens of the call centers, but when they came, we were rubbish. I mean, they prefer the young people than people our age, because they said that we get sick often, or we have more family issues, or well, we have a complicated life or something, all right? It's like, oh, I have hypertension, oh, I have diabetes, oh, I can't sleep, I can't work at night because my doctor said, you know, medical issues and family issues as well, okay? All right, so they preferred hiring the young ones, the Chavacanos and Spanish students. And as of this date, they still prefer hiring these people. All right, well, I have nothing against them. In fact, I admire them and I salute them because since I've been abroad for a long time, I have seen Filipinos speak very fluent French, Portuguese, Italian, German, Spanish. It's just that it's in our blood to easily adopt to speak language fluently. All right, so these applied to the new hires. I mean, the Chavacanos and the Spanish speakers. They just learned the language. All right, so I just admire them. Okay. Well, I've retired from the call center industry. I'm just staying here at home. If I find a home-based Spanish job, well, I'll grab it. But that depends. I have to check what type of account. Okay. I just don't wanna stress myself anymore with calls. So, well, they've taken the floor now. It's their floor, okay? We had our chance before, so in my next videos, I'll be sharing more experiences in the call center. All right. Some experiences, work experiences I have encountered, some problems that were solved and not solved, fights, intrigues, chismis dito, chismis kasi si ganon, nag-uutang tapos hindi nagbabayad and then magre-resign, you know. So there are lots of issues inside the call center environment. And I've seen other blogs teaching Spanish, or how much does a bilingual agent earn. So I'd like to make this channel of mine a different, I would like to give the audience a different kind of subject or content. It's the life we have in the call center, right? Work experiences, personal experiences, whether moral, physical, spiritual, emotional experiences in the call center environment. I hope you're going to stay with me, and if you can just see that subscribe button, just click that, and there's a small bell beside that. Just that bell represents notifications. All right, just click on all notifications, so whenever I have a new video on the air, you'll be notified, and you'll have more information, or you'll know more about things that I talk about the call center environment. Well, thank you so much for listening and watching me. If I missed something, just there's a comment thing there. Just put it down. Thumbs up too if you like my video. If you don't, please tell me why. You can write down in the comments so I can improve whatever I have to show, or whatever I have to teach. Whatever. Okay. Okay, so thank you, muchas gracias y hasta luego. Si ustedes quisieran aprender un poquito de más de español, yo podré enseñar unas palabras, unas frases, bueno, de gramática. Bueno, yo veo, I can see that there are other blogs teaching Spanish, so well, I can teach Spanish too, if you wish. Okay, just let me know. Comentarios, por favor, comments. All right, have a great day. Besos. Hasta luego. De Anita Linda. Ciao. Bravo. Bravo, Filipinas. Ciao.